right, so today what you're going to be doing is you're going to be working through this separating into equal sets application. And so what my expectation is that I will help coach you on half of this assignment, and then you will do the other half of this assignment, and you'll turn it in for a daily grade. So just remember that each one of these pieces is its own part, so making sure you fill in all of the pieces is super important. Right now what I want you to do is look at this paper. It says separating into equal sets application, making sure you have the correct page, and I want you to put your first name and last name on this. So please put your first and last name on this assignment. Since I'm not here today, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to pause the video, and I'd like you to try to work through this assignment on your own. Take about 8 to 10 minutes to try to work through each one of these pieces. Then I want you to play the video and check your work before you do the back. Because remember, this isn't a grade, and if you haven't done the front correctly, then the chances of you doing the back correctly are very slim, or probably not going to do well on the assignment. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video, see what you can do with this information. I'm going to read the story in case anyone needs me to read it to them. Valerie made 3 cups of crushed Oreos for her ice cream sundae party. She placed 1/3 cup of crushed Oreos on each sundae. How many sundaes can she make with crushed Oreos? So I want to read through this again, and I want to think about, well, what's happening? We've got Valerie made 3 cups of crushed Oreos for her ice cream sundae party. She placed 1/3 cup of crushed Oreos on each sundae. So every time she had a sundae, she placed 1/3 of a cup of crushed Oreos. How many sundaes can she make with the crushed Oreos? So without using any numbers, we've got a pile of crushed Oreos. We're putting some on each sundae, and we want to know, well, how many sundaes can we make? So at this time, I need you to pause and kind of work through that together. If you need to, you may go ahead and grab some Play-Doh to work through these problems. All right, so hopefully you were able to get some information down. Let's see if our representation or even our acting out is similar. So I know that we had 3 cups of crushed Oreos. So if you used your Play-Doh, you probably had 3 balls that represent, or 3 groups that represented the cups of Oreos. So there's my 3 cups of Oreos. And she's going to place 1/3 cup of crushed Oreos on each sundae. So right now what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to take my 3 cups and I'm going to put them in groups of 1/3 servings. So to get 1/3 serving, I'm going to have to break this into 3 equal parts. So there's 1/3, there's 2/3, and there's 3/3. And I'm going to take my next cup and I'm going to partition it into 3 equal servings. So there's 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. And I'm going to take my 3rd cup and I'm going to partition it into 3 equal servings. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So when I lay these out, I have 1. So every time I have a 1/3, I actually have a sundae. So that would be 1 sundae, 2 sundaes, 3 sundaes, 4 sundaes, 5 sundaes, 6 sundaes, 7 sundaes, 8 sundaes, and 9 sundaes. So how many sundaes can I make if I put 1/3 of a cup on each of the ice creams? I can make 9 sundaes. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to pick up all my pieces of Play-Doh. I want to ball them into a tiny ball and put them to the side. And if I have any pieces left over, I can just kind of work on getting those erased. So what exactly happened? Well, my representation is my drawing of what happened. So I started with 3 cups of crushed Oreos. Well, I didn't put the whole cup on each sundae. I partitioned each cup into 1/3 servings. So to get 1/3 servings, I would have to cut this into 3 equal parts. So this would be a third, this would be a third, and this would be a third. And I would take my second cup and I would partition it into 3 equal servings. So I would have a third, and a third. And I would take my third cup and I would do the same. A third, a third. Now every time I have a third, I'm able to put that on a sundae. So how many sundaes could I make? I can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sundaes. So 3 cups will allow me to make 9 sundaes. So if your picture is looking a little bit different than mine and you think you need to make some changes, that would be the thing that you would want to do now. So the action here is that we are separating, because that's exactly what we did with the cups. We separated them into equal portions, equal sets. And the operation that you would use would be division. And so our equation is, what is it that we want to divide? We want to take the 3, because that was the total amount that we have. And when we're dividing, we start with our total. We're dividing those 3 cups into 1/3 portions, 1/3. And then when we get our answer, we were able to get 9 sundaes. So right now our picture and our actions and operations and equations should all match. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the pieces. Our number line. Well, our number line should look a lot like our picture. So how many cups did we have? We had all the way to the number 3. I'm going to circle that 3. And for each cup, we partitioned it into 1/3 servings. So we partitioned it into 1/3, 2/3. So those were each servings. 3/3 partitioned. And that gets me all the way to 3 cups. So each one of these pieces represents a sundae. Each one of these represents a sundae. So all I need to do now is go back and count. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sundaes. So again, 9 sundaes were able to be made with the 3 cups of Oreos. So at the bottom, hopefully you were able to answer. Valerie started with 3 cups of crushed Oreos. She separated the crushed Oreos into equal amounts of 1/3 cup. She was able to make 9 sundaes with 1/3 cup crushed Oreos on each sundae. In 3 holes, there are 9 1/3 size pieces. And so the important thing to remember is that when we divide, we're getting a larger number. And that is not what we are used to when we've divided whole numbers. But the thing to remember is these pieces are very tiny. These are 1/3 of the size. These are very tiny amounts that we're ending up with when we divide. Okay, it's your turn. Your turn to flip over the paper, to read the question carefully, and do exactly what we did on the front, but with this information. Valerie has 3 tablespoons of sprinkles for the sundaes. Each sundae will receive 1/4 tablespoon of sprinkles. How many sundaes will she be able to make with the sprinkles? Okay, do your best. When you're finished, you're going to turn this paper in, and then you'll work on some problems in your jam.